Hey everybody, Nick Espinoza, your chief security fanatic here. Don't forget to subscribe. And today we are talking about artificial intelligence, or AI, because quite frankly, it's a surveillance machine for authorities. Now, what got me thinking about this was an interesting article from The Verge, but quite frankly, I think we really need to dive in, because if you didn't know, more humans on the planet than not actually live under autocratic or authoritarian states. They don't live under democracies. And that number is unfortunately increasing. But as we continue to expand tech, everybody from democracies to autocracies get this. And let's dive into this, because I did a recent segment on basically using artificial intelligence as a therapist. In other words, can essentially AI replace a regular therapist? We have a shortage of therapists in the world, et cetera, et cetera. And that is starting to come to fruition. And a lot of people are basically just pouring out these secrets to the chatbots, these virtual intelligence, AI platforms. Think like ChatGPT, Grok. If you're talking to Grok, Meta's got one, Microsoft's got one, et cetera, et cetera. We are communicating and getting responses on a lot of different things. And so think about this in a state where surveillance by the autocratic state has been turned up to 11, or is in the process of ramping up surveillance on its population. This impending collision, basically, of two alarming trends is what we're talking about. The first one is that big tech around the world encourages people to reveal ever more intimate details to these AI tools, these therapist chatbots or chatbots in general, and therefore soliciting things that users wouldn't normally put on social media or may not even tell their closest friends. Like who's the AI going to tell? Well, the state possibly, right? And second, the government really is obsessed essentially with obtaining nearly unprecedented levels of surveillance and control over the residents' minds. That's what autocratic governments do. So your personal thoughts, your beliefs on a myriad of controversial subjects, whatever those controversial subjects are in your society, essentially are the things that they can look at and say, well, you have opinions that you've been telling the chatbot that are contrarian to what the state's belief is, and here we are. And chatbots are essentially designed, to interact with you. That escalates the risks of basically secret sharing online. They're conversational by design. And so by virtue of that, you want to talk to it. You want to chat to it like it's a friend. How many people, and I've done segments on it, of people have virtual girlfriends or boyfriends, therapy, like I mentioned, and on and on. And so we're revealing a lot of stuff. Not to mention, if you're getting super adult with it, your sexual preferences and proclivities, which again may be against the state. Look at states like Uganda, where homosexuality can be punished by death. So for users whose chats veer towards these wrong topics, this surveillance could potentially lead to a whole bunch of things, including a visit from autocratic law enforcement. So I say all of this to say that no matter where you live in the world, no matter what your form of government is, whether it's a democracy, an autocracy, changing into an autocracy, changing into a democracy, whatever it is, understand that these things aren't private. Understand that big tech will data mine you, and understand that big tech works in countries where the framework of laws basically ensure or guarantee no rights, or changing into that. And so by virtue of that, it's a big, big issue where you could be saying things, the state could know about it, and now you're on some kind of list for re-education or whatever that looks like. So be aware, heads up. I think it's an important topic. I constantly talk about privacy, but in a world where we're being data mined left and right, and if you have laws that essentially are not protecting that privacy, or the government is simply ignoring them, that's a problem for you. And so make sure you are being safe. I don't care where you're listening to. I've got listeners around the world. Just be careful and be aware of all of this. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP, where you will be data mined, including everything you post and all of your messages. Same on YouTube if you do comment. So feel free to comment and watch, but make sure you're not going against your state. And as always, stay safe, stay online, and please attempt to stay private, secure, and online. Take care.